Hello and welcome to the 28th Annual Save a Heart Gala. This year we're celebrating a little bit differently than we have in the past, but even though we're coming together virtually, our mission remains the same, to support children and their families living with congenital heart defects. It's hard to believe it was a year ago that we were all together in the same room without masks on, celebrating the Roaring 20s.
What a year that turned out to be.
Sure was. I'm Jeff Zampi, one of the pediatric cardiologists at CS Mott Children's Hospital Congenital Heart Center, and this is my beautiful wife, Amy. And we are so happy to be here today presenting virtually from the Michigan Union. We'll be joined by John Sharpie and his daughter, Christine, as well as Rick and Bonnie Oye, who are here right across the hallway in a different room, so we all maintain our safe and social distancing practices.
We are thrilled to be here to host this meaningful event. Every year, generous sponsors, donors, and members of our community come together for our Save a Heart campaign and to raise funds and awareness for our patients and families. Despite the challenges we've all faced in the past year, the amount of support and involvement we've seen through Save a Heart has become incredible. Thank you for all you do.
As many of you already know, congenital heart disease is the most common birth defect in our country, affecting roughly 1 in 110 newborns. It's also a diagnosis that requires lifelong care. That equates to roughly 40,000 babies born per year with heart disease, and about 25% of those will need something done in the first year of life. Our Heart Center provides some of the most advanced care for infants, children, and adolescents with all forms of heart disease, as well as adults born with congenital heart defects. We are one of the largest and most experienced pediatric heart programs in the U.S. and an international referral center for kids with complex congenital heart disease. While we've made incredible progress and significant advancements over the last 30 years, there's still so much more that we have to do. And when you give to Save a Heart, your generosity really helps fund research, drive development, new technologies and therapies, and provide all the social support that we can provide to our families and patients.
We have an exciting event planned for you this evening. We will be sharing stories from patients and families, hearing from Congenital Heart Center faculty and researchers, and hosting live and silent auctions. We'll also have a special musical performance from Grammy-nominated artist Matt Hammett with Mike Schweitzer from Mercy Me. And even though we may not be together in person, we still want to give everyone a chance to interact with each other. You'll notice a chat box on the right-hand side of your screen. Keep an eye out here for important links. Once we share a link, it will be visible for the whole event. You can also use this space to ask any questions you may have, give shout-outs to your favorite CHC docs, or say hello to familiar names you may see pop up. We will now be sharing a link that will serve as our one-stop shop for the evening. It houses our live and silent auction and is also where we will be collecting donations. It's the same site we've used in past years, so once you click the link, you can either log in or be guided through a quick registration process if you don't already have an account. We have 3 amazing live auction items that we will open up soon, so make sure you are registered and ready to bid when the time comes later in the program. You will also find the silent auction on this site. It closes tonight at 9 p.m., so get those bids in now.
And last but certainly not least, our goal tonight is to raise the much needed funds to support all the things that are done in the Heart Center for research and to support our families. Tonight, we are really excited to announce that we have two matching gifts that will help us reach our goal, and we'll share more information about those later tonight. You'll see a thermometer that's presented throughout the evening, and every time we hope you see that it's going to grow and get us closer to our goal. And also a little bit more about the Giving Tree. If you've ever attended Save a Heart over the last 27 years, you'll remember the Giving Tree being a big part of what we do. And the whole idea of the Giving Tree is that you can give a little or you can give a lot, but together we can all work to really raise a lot of money for our patients and their families. Our goal for tonight is to raise $15,000 in just one evening, and we know we can do that. We've already had some great donations, and we are ready to rock and roll. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce my 2 friends and bosses whose vision and commitment has really helped grow the Congenital Heart Center to the nationally renowned place that it is today. They've also been involved in Save a Heart since the inception, and I'd like to introduce the co-directors of the Congenital Heart Center, Dr. John Sharpie and Rick Oye.
Thanks, Jeff. We have a little monitor out here, and I just have to say I wish I had gotten a phone book here. But we're in separate rooms. We're trying to maintain COVID-safe practices. John and I are in the same bubble, and actually we live in the same neighborhood as Jeff and Amy, who just moved in, but we're just not sure if we like them enough to bring them into our bubble, I guess. But I just want to, again, thank everybody who's here. Really appreciate everybody's time.
And I think it's really important that we recognize that Save a Heart has been a constant for us for over 28 years. And the funds that we raise tonight go directly to patients and families. This is about social work, this is about support systems. It's also about the research that is so critical to moving our field forward and innovating into the future. So what we really like to do right now is have you participate in a new activity for us, and Rick will lead this.
So we're going to ask you now to participate in a word cloud. We're going to make a word cloud, and hopefully it will come up here on the screen here in a second. But if you log into www.menti.com and use that code, you'll be able to get on. And so what we're going to ask you to do is to give one word, and I'm going to read this because I will otherwise get it wrong. What one word comes to mind when you think of the Congenital Heart Center? So if you put those words in, they'll start to appear as a word cloud. It's a little bit, it'll take a second, I know, for people to log in and get their code in, but hopefully you'll see the word cloud start to populate. And then we're actually going to save this and do a screenshot of this, and so we'll have this for future years as well. So hopefully it'll come up here in a second. What could possibly go wrong, right? Live, Zoom, come on, I mean, I haven't turned into a cat yet, at least. That's the good news. So. Well, until that happens, should we just go ahead and move on?
Yeah, so thank you for participating. We'll get that back to you as soon as possible. The next segment, we really like to start with a patient and family story. This is really important that we listen to these stories and embrace these families because they mean so much to the Heart Center. The first family is the Bettinger family. The Bettinger family is very special to myself and my family. We have known them before Simone was born, and I'd like to introduce my daughter, Christine, who will share a little bit about her experiences with the Bettinger family.
So I'm super excited for this first video because it does include the Bettingers. I have known Brandon, Hannah, and Simone for quite a while. Brandon, formerly known as Coach B at my conditioning at Skyline High School. I'm an alumni. He has kept me mentally and physically tough, and that is reflected so perfectly in his family and especially Simone. Please enjoy this first video.
When we were at our 20-week ultrasound, she said at that time that she saw something wrong with the baby's heart and that we needed to go across town to a specialist. We got some pretty scary information, just preliminary of what could be wrong.
I actually knew Coach B and his wife before Simone was ever born. Coach B was my daughter's coach in high school, and then one day my daughter called me and she said, "Dad, you know, Coach B just found out that he has a child in utero with congenital heart disease. What do we do?" And I immediately got in touch with Coach B, and we started talking about what we could do to try to help them both through the pregnancy and after.
Within a few days, we were able to get into Mott, and they were able to do a fetal echo and find out that she was missing her tricuspid valve and that she would need 3 surgeries from the time that she was born until she was 2 to help keep her alive.
Being a congenital heart surgeon, obviously not every day is perfect, but thankfully most days are pretty darn awesome. And there are certain parts of days that really, they give you that moment of feeling warm inside, that feeling that you're making a difference and helps to fill your soul. One is the very simple thing of after doing a surgery and you walk in to talk to parents, to be able to say, the surgery's over, they're doing great, and just be able to know that you've taken away some of that burden and stress for a family. Those are the moments that make you realize why you do what you do.
Everybody at Mott is amazing, but just seeing Dr. Romano in those times that were super scary mean everything to us.
I think the Michigan Congenital Heart Center is really unique. We're not just a team, we're a family. And it's feeling like we're all in this together. The cardiologists, the surgeons, the nurses, anesthesiologists, physical therapists, that everybody has the same shared passion. I think that sense of community is what gives us the strength to do what we need to do every day.
What I kept telling myself is that she's in great hands. If you can identify the problem, then hopefully you can identify the fix. And I know these people are very knowledgeable, and they have to find a fix. My daughter's life depended on it.
Those first couple of years were just so hard, and we spent so long in the hospital, and all of the things that went into her surgeries and the stays beforehand and the stays after and feeding. And I mean, just like the joy that we get to experience now and the like sigh of relief that we've made it past these 3 surgeries, I just have absolutely no words for it, how amazing it is.
There are certain Christmas cards that I get that I eagerly await, and Simone's is always one of them. Whenever I see the Christmas cards of her and her growing and doing so well, I remember the days when they weren't so easy, or when they chronicled the first year of life with and without a feeding tube and how hard that is. And now to see this beautiful, healthy, vibrant, chubby-cheeked little girl with no feeding tube in her life is, it's really special.
It was very important to Brandon and I that we do whatever we can to surround Simone with as many amazing, strong women. So from picking her pediatrician to the cardiologist that I fell the closest to, and when we met Dr. Amano, we knew this was another amazing woman that we could add to surround Simone in her life.
But we were there every step of the way to try to help them along in their journey. And it wasn't an easy journey, and it is not going to be. So it's also trying to look to the future and make sure that they're well prepared and educated so that we can continue to support them throughout Simone's life.
I don't even know where to begin with the support that we got from everyone at Mott in the Congenital Heart Center. Every step of the way, from the way that we were taken care of when we first found out about Simone's diagnosis, and the person that took care of scheduling all of our appointments for us, and making sure they were all done on the same day, and we knew what was happening, to the nurses that gave me hugs on my really hard days. Mott was just the perfect place for us to be.
She has really shown this resiliency and this heart and this bravery that it should be inspiring to all of us to not take life for granted. So I'm just really happy at where she's at, and I'm really enjoying this ride as a dad, and I'm so proud of her.
What a really impactful and great story. Thank you so much to Simone's family for sharing their journey. It's really patients like Simone and families like the Bettingers that are why we're here tonight. It's your incredible generosity that benefits families just like Simone's. Save a Heart helps to drive the advances in care that give congenital heart patients better options and more hope. It provides families with the support they need after receiving life-altering diagnoses. We'd like to really take a moment and thank this year's Save a Heart Gallery sponsors. And we'll read them through here, but our presenting sponsors, Kathy and John Sharpie, Paul and Susan Meister, Philip and Victoria Soderoff, as well as an anonymous sponsor, Dennis Crowley and Anita Klo, Peter and Carolyn Mertz, the Audrey Eckert Foundation, Edward and Linda Beauvais, Rick and Sally Sharpie, the Heart of a Child Foundation, Ken Ligenfelter, George and Donna Oye, Plum Market, PVS Chemicals, Lori and Kurt Rieger, Mike and Debbie Tarico, Value Wholesale, Mark and Kate Van Sumeren, Bank of Ann Arbor, Evangelista and Associates, Riboli Family Wine, and the Andrew Romzek family. Thank you all for all you do. It's incredible, and what you've done has made events like tonight possible.
Thank you to our continued partner and supporter, Plum Market, who this year generously facilitated a roundup campaign at the Register for Save a Heart. This campaign, which is currently still running, started on Monday, February 15th, and to date has raised over $10,000. You see it there on your screen with 3 days remaining. I ask for all of you shoppers out there, can we possibly get that number closer to 12,000? They definitely have the best wine in Ann Arbor, so I would run over there quickly. Thank you to our wonderful partners at Plum Market and to all the amazing Plum Market employees and to all of their valued customers who have supported us through this amazing campaign. We also wanted to give a quick reminder for the upcoming Shamrocks and Shenanigans 5K happening virtually on March 14th. This race has been supporting Save a Heart for over 13 years, since 2008. Proceeds from Shamrocks and Shenanigans each year directly benefit Save a Heart, so thank you to Connor O'Neill's, Running Fit, and all of the other partners that make that event possible.
And lastly, we wanted to recognize our amazing Congenital Heart Center faculty and staff. Not only are they incredible for all the work they do every single day, but for the 4th year in a row, teams from across the Congenital Heart Center have created packages for the Save a Heart auction. It's really now become a Congenital Heart Center tradition, and this year, collectively, the contributions have been over $10,000. So a big thanks to everyone who's contributed and everybody who coordinated the staff challenges. There were 12 teams that created a total of 18 packages, and 4 of them made big contributions over $1,000. Really pretty incredible. So please check these out, these awesome packages out on the link for the descriptions. And again, I want to re-bring up the Giving Tree, which we talked about before. The Giving Tree is really something special, and I think it's really a great opportunity to go there and make some donations and think about what that means for you and for the patients at Mott. Now I'd like to introduce a special performance by singer and songwriter Matt Hammett, along with his guest Mike Schweitzer. Matt was a lead singer and songwriter for the band Sanctus Real for 2 decades. He received 3 Dove Awards and has been nominated for 2 Grammy Awards, which is absolutely incredible. But not only is he an incredible artist, in 2010, Matt's son Bowen was born with hypoplastic left heart syndrome. He underwent his first open heart surgery at Mott when he was only 5 days old. And, in the time after that, had a number of complications, including a stroke. He had a cardiac arrest. He was on life support with ECMO for 36 hours and had some other medical problems. Came back for his second heart operation in 2011 and then back for his final operation last year in 2019, his Fontan surgery. In addition to all those surgeries, he had catheterizations, lots of emergency department visits. But through it all, Matt, Bowen, his family have really been committed to raising awareness and support for others with congenital heart disease, especially families. Be sure to stick around at the end of tonight's event for a special performance that's featuring both Matt and Bowen. So without further ado, I give you Matt Hammett.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Matt Hammett, and I'm so grateful to be with you at Save a Heart this year, even though it's virtual and I can't be there with you. But I'm here in my home, just like you guys are. I'm in Nashville, Tennessee, and joining me is Michael Schweitzer. However. Okay, all right. We've been friends for a long time. I still can't say it right.
I can't either.
But he's from Mercy Me. I'm so grateful that you stopped by to play with me. So U of M is so dear to our hearts. The Congenital Heart Center has been a lifesaver, literally, for us. I remember back 10 years ago when our son Bowen had his first of 3 open heart surgeries with your team. He had a cardiac arrest that almost took his life, but thanks to the love and the care that you guys gave us, you were able to get him on life support. One of the doctors looked at me and said that day, "You still have a kid in there." And so 10 years later, we still have a kid in there. And so much thanks to you for all the care you've given us. The song I'm going to share with you is the title track of my new album, Treetop. It's a song about how love and life never comes easy. And sometimes we keep having to give our hearts to things that break it for us to find love and to find meaning. And I know that is something that your team at U of M and all the people who give to that work and are invested in that work and every family that's watching tonight knows and understands and feels deeply. So this song is for you. Treetop, just a boy looking out at the world. Before he knew what it meant to love a girl. Doesn't know time will tell her how he once felt chasing those diamonds and pearls. Down from the treetop, up on top of the world, where he would try to fly alone, let his wings unfold, take the path of no return that always leads back home. Whoa! Nobody said it'd come freely. Nobody said it'd be perfect, but it's worth it. Oh, love will never be harmless. Sometimes it feels a bit heartless. Some days it's gonna feel hopeless, but know this: when you're lost, look up, he'll lead you back. Grown man on his back, looking up at the sky. His heart hurts thinking about how he used to fly. Wondering if time can heal what is broken. Maybe he can find a way back to the treetop, up on top of the world, where he once tried to fly alone. Let his wings unfold, took the path of no return that's turning him back home. Oh, nobody said it'd be easy. Nobody said it'd come freely. Nobody said it'd be perfect, but it's worth it. Oh, love will never be harmless. Sometimes it feels a bit heartless. Some days it's gonna feel hopeless, but know this: when you're lost, look up, he'll lead you back. When you're lost, look up, he'll lead you back. I just wanna be somebody. Oh, I just wanna be somebody. Yeah, I just wanna be somebody. I just wanna know I'm loved. I just wanna be somebody. I just wanna know. I never flew alone. You saw my wings unfold on the path of no return. You knew I'd come back home. Oh, nobody said it'd be easy. Nobody said it'd come freely. Nobody said it'd be perfect, but it's worth it. Oh, love will never be harmless. Sometimes it feels a bit heartless. Some days it's gonna feel hopeless, but know this: when you're lost, look up, he'll lead you back. When you're lost, look up, he'll lead you back. Thanks so much. Thanks, Mike.
Wow, it's really amazing. You know, such amazing talent, and Matt, thank you so much. Not only just for this performance for tonight, but all of your support across the multiple years that you've been involved with the Congenital Heart Center. It's been really great. So now we're going to transition to the live auction. It's not going to be the typical live auction where there's an auctioneer up here babbling away. That would just be a bad idea to have John and I do that. So we'll go ahead. John, do you want to?
Yeah, I'd like to send it over to our friend Mike Tirico, who's been a wonderful supporter of the Heart Center for many, many years. His wife and Debbie, Ann Arbor residents, and so loyal to our program. So Mike, take it away.
Good evening. My name is Mike Tirico, and I'm happy to be the voice of your Save a Heart Virtual Gala live auction this evening. Dr. Sharpie and Dr. Oye, well, you help me show off these three amazing items as we go through the next couple of minutes together. All three items are now open, but will close in the next 30 minutes. So bid high and bid often. Get those phones ready. Here we go. Item number 1 takes you and a guest to beautiful Paso Robles wine country. Located halfway between San Francisco and Los Angeles, Paso Robles has over 200 wineries and a bustling downtown with excellent restaurants and quality retail. Your adventure begins with a 2-night stay at Riboli Family Wine Estates, where you will enjoy a tour and a tasting. Your next stop will be Zeonida Cellars for a tasting during your 2-night stay in the Cellar Master's Suite above the tasting room. Your experience will conclude as you and your guest will head to Turley Wine Cellars for a private-focused wine tasting in their Templeton tasting room. Bidding for this amazing trip to the California wine country will start at $500.
Well, I'll tell you, I can't imagine a better deal. $500 to start the bidding on this amazing package. I know my wife Kathy and I will be bidding on it, so we'd like to try to get this as high as possible. In fact, right now, why don't we just throw it out there at $1,000? I'll put up $1,000 for this trip. I think this is going to be a remarkable experience. I've been to Paso Robles. It's a beautiful part of the country, and we really want to try to get as much money as possible.
Bonnie, 1,500.
Uh-oh, Dr. Oye outbidding me again. Let's go 1,800. 1,800 is Sharpie's. Uh-oh, what?
Big leaguing.
Okay, so 1,800 is the bid right now. If you're online, please put in your bids. Let's get this up as high as possible. It's all for the kids. Uh-oh, Dr. Oye's at $2,000. So $2,000 is now the bid. Let's start there, and let's go to the next auction item by Mr. Mike Tirico of NBC.
For item number 2, we bring the wine to you. Gather your wine-loving friends together and get ready for the experience of a lifetime as Master Sommelier Madeline Triffon, Plum Market's First Lady of Wine, guides you through the fragrances and flavors of fabulous hand-picked wines. Madeline was the first American woman to receive the Master Sommelier credential and the second worldwide. She is currently the in-house Master Sommelier for Plum Market. This experience includes 2 hand-selected wines and an artfully crafted artisan cheese box for a tasting on a mutually agreeable date between July 1st of 2021 and July 2nd of 2022. This private wine tasting experience is offered for up to 20 guests, virtually or in person. Bidding for this wine lover's experience starts at $375, and we have an update. My wife Debbie has started the bidding at $500.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. Debbie's a big wine lover, and she is incredibly awesome. But Madeline, if you haven't spent time with her, she is an amazing instructor in wines, and it is definitely worth spending some time with her. With all the guests that you can have, whether it's virtual or in the future, hopefully near future, in person, this is a tremendous gift. So please bid often, bid high. Mike, can we hear number 3?
Third and final live auction item, it's time to get your family ready for some serious R&R with this Harbor Springs getaway. Enjoy a 5-night stay in this gorgeous 3-bedroom, 3.5-bathroom home in Harbor Springs, Michigan. With beautiful views of Lake Michigan, it's a perfect getaway for summer walks on the beach or a winter ski trip. It's just a short drive to the slopes at Nubbs Knob and Boyne Highlands. Your rental includes the use of 4 kayaks, firewood for indoor or outdoor fires, and necessary household items. The home may be used in any season and within 1 year of the Save a Heart auction at a mutually agreed upon date. Bidding for your week away starts at $1,250.
Thanks. Another amazing package. Like Mike said, it can be used winter or summer. It's right on Lake Michigan, so a really beautiful place. So get in there and bid. I just want to also, in addition to thanking Mike for being a part of tonight, thank all of our donors who put those great packages together for us. Bidding will be open until 8 o'clock tonight, so like everyone keeps saying, bid early and bid often. So now we'll send it on back to Jeff for the rest of the program.
Thanks, guys. And man, Mr. Tirico's voice is so buttery. I think I just bought something that wasn't even on the auction list, but really good. So we do want to hear another inspiring story from Congenital Heart Center family. Ashton Williams was born with an atrioventricular septal defect and had open heart surgery in the first couple months of life here at the Congenital Heart Center. And this is an exciting story because this highlights one of the newest initiatives here at our Congenital Heart Center. So led by Dr. Arash Salavitabar and Dr. Jimmy Liu, we have a new 3D visualization program, which really has helped cardiologists and surgeons better understand complex congenital heart defects like Ashton's. It also can really be used as an educational tool for families so they understand exactly what the team needs to do to fix their child's heart defect.
Our family has a long journey of adopting kids with special needs. Ashton was the first child that we adopted with Down syndrome.
And along with that came an atrioventricular septal defect. He didn't gain weight very fast. He could only take small amounts of a bottle at a time, so we had to increase the calories on it because he'd get very tired. And he ended up having his repair with Dr. Oye when he was about 5 months old. We were extremely nervous going into it. Ashton had only been with us for 2 months, and here we were about to hand our baby over to somebody for major surgery, and I think we felt great after we had our appointments and we were able to speak with the doctors. Everybody made him a priority and kept in good contact with us, and that made us feel more confident about the plan.
Instead of having 2 separate valves, Ashton had 1 common valve. So the center of his heart didn't quite form the way it should and separate everything away. It was at a point where we didn't do as much 3D imaging as we do now. What we're doing now more is trying to visualize all these attachments in 3-dimensional space. So basically anything that we can do to make the surgeon's life easier, to understand before going in what to expect, to maybe shorten the time that they have to stare at that valve when the patient's heart is on cardiopulmonary bypass, and figuring out exactly what they're going to do and how they're going to do it. Ashton had a nice anatomy and he had a fantastic surgeon, he had a good result, but how do we make sure that every child, kind of regardless of the anatomy or any of the other factors, can have as good of a result as possible?
In the past, we relied on 2-dimensional imaging, which is just like looking at a picture on a TV screen. Nowadays, what's different is whether we use echocardiography, sort of ultrasound of the heart, or whether we use advanced imaging like MRI, is we can recreate literally 3D images to look at. We can put on these special glasses that allow us to see in 3D.
One of the tools that we have at our disposal is something called 3D printing. So this is an example of a model that can fit in the palm of your hand, but we can essentially cut it in different planes. We can understand what's happening inside the heart just by looking inside and essentially mapping out the course of what our surgical plan will be. Advances that we've made in 3D technology have allowed us to really personalize care to each and every patient, and then to teach our patients about their heart disease. And that really is the ultimate model, the incorporation of patients into their own care.
I work with a team of really incredible people. And when I think of the team, I think of not only the people that I work with at the hospital every day, but everyone at Save a Heart that are supporting our programs, whether it's to help families with travel or lodging, or whether to fund advanced fellowships in congenital heart disease, or do research.
The 3D visualization platform that I've been using a lot that lets you fly through the heart, that was something that was supported by donor funding.
And the ultimate thing that we want to do is have an OR which combines different imaging modalities, including MRI, and that would allow us in real time to look at images of the heart. We could even do repairs and then take an MRI and make sure that everything looks good, or if there's any question in the middle of the operation, literally stop the operation and get an MRI.
When he was in the hospital, we've just felt really well taken care of. We had Child Life came, and somebody came and washed his laundry at one point. We had social work arranged for us to stay at Ronald McDonald House, like right on the same floor as him. You know, it's just a really good experience.
Ashton is doing very well today. He's very active, and because of the experience with the doctors, Ashton still has a really fun relationship with those doctors, even just routine checkups. He loves to go see them, and we hear they love to see him as well.
What does Dr. Lou have that you like to use?
Love.
What is it called?
A stethoscope.
Seeing Ashley get so excited when he has to come see Dr. Lou makes us feel good because we know that he's not scared to come to the hospital. He's excited to go see him.
It really boils down to we just want kids to be able to be kids. We do what they need. We do their heart surgeries, we do their interventions, we do their checkups, but that's really the bottom line. We really want kids to just be able to be kids.
At school, they call him the mayor because he knows everyone, and everybody knows him walking down the hallway. He's sunshine. That's what everybody says. Ashton is sunshine.
Another really incredible story, and I got to say, Ashton, I love those specs. You look really great. I would like to turn everyone to turn their attention to the Greater Giving website page. I think this is This is a really great opportunity to talk a little bit about the matching funds that we received this year that I talked about earlier. So this year we had 2 matching funds, one of which was a $5,000 match, which came from the Delta Airlines employees at Detroit Metro Airport, which is just absolutely phenomenal. And then another $10,000 came from a memorial gift of Dan Atwood and his son Corey, a wonderful congenital heart patient. And the family really wants to celebrate their lives with this generous donation. So your donation tonight will be matched dollar for dollar from these gifts, which I just think is absolutely incredible. As we think about our giving tree, I think one of the things that's really useful is to understand where a dollar goes. Because, I think we're all asked to do things and give money, but where does a dollar go? And how do we get to that greater impact of reaching our goal of $15,000 for tonight? Again, you just saw some of the technology that was presented by Dr. Liu and Dr. Salavita-Bar. And again, the type of funding we're looking for can really kickstart a research project just like that. So let's talk about where the dollars actually are. A $1,000 donation can launch a whole research study, starting from a small idea to a much bigger project to give us greater knowledge, new discoveries and intervention, and really improve the care of patients with congenital heart disease. $300 can fund educational materials and resources that we can use for our patients and families to better understand and to help them understand their care plans. $200 can be used to make a custom backpack so kids with heart failure can get out of their beds and leave their rooms and carry around their ventricular assist device that supports their heart. $100 can be used for devices to help relieve or to obscure pain during blood draws and really makes procedures easier for kids. $50 can support iPads to help kids talk to their families, which has been so incredible. If you think about during this pandemic, when families couldn't be together and how important Zoom was, this can really help support that. $20 provides clear face masks, so when your parent and child are working together, they can really bond, especially during this troubling time. And $10, even just $10, is transportation to get families to and from appointments here in Ann Arbor. Again, people come from all over the place to get here, and that costs money, and that's a tax on families. So please go think about donating to the Giving Tree. We really appreciate all those items. The next story we're going to talk about, I think, will resonate with a lot of families here tonight who are managing the ongoing challenges of their child's heart defects. Julia Strecker received a heart transplant when she was just 14 months old. Through her childhood, adolescence, and as she grew into a young adult, she and her family had to learn how to cope with the many difficulties and complications that it can affect a young person with heart disease. Unfortunately, Julia passed away at the age of 19, but her family and legacy continue to inspire and support other families, as well as nurses and medical professionals who are working to improve and save lives.
Julia was about 7 months old. She contracted chicken pox virus. It expanded her heart about 3 times the size. She had this cardiomyopathy.
Her face always looked kind of scrunched up like she was in pain, and then when she got that new heart, it's almost like she got a new brain. She was smiling, grinning, eating, happy, walking. Yeah, it was just like an amazing event.
It wasn't without issues because she was heavily immune suppressed. She experienced preschool, regular school. She did get sick more often, and she was on medication that would make her hairier. So she did, at the time, look different than other children.
I was actually meeting with a patient this week who said to me, because of my heart disease, I don't feel normal. And they felt like they couldn't talk about that with anybody, that no one else would get it, family, friends. And I told them, I have an entire job focused on that. And it's actually quite normal when someone is facing the medical conditions, the surgeries, the fears, the worries that one might be, to have those feelings.
She was a rising 3rd grader, and Julia started rejecting her heart, which turned out for her to be hospitalized for a few months while waiting for a heart.
I was woken up by one of the nurses who had tears in her eyes, and she said Julia's had some real problems. She had had 6 heart attacks. With every heart attack, over time, it's just less and less likely they're going to survive it. And so Jerry and I went in essentially to say goodbye to her for the last time. And Dr. Crowley was there, and he saw us, and he said, I'll tell you what, let's not give up on her yet. Let's go in to see her. I whispered in her ear, like a lot of parents might to people, who are apparently dying, and I said, if you can hear me, squeeze my hand. And I felt her very, very lightly squeeze my hand. This really was a turnaround that nobody expected at all. Within 4 days, she had a heart transplant. She was put #1 or #2 on the list in the country, and she ended up getting a heart. It was quite a miracle. I don't know how else to explain it.
Yeah.
And she had 10 amazing years.
When I tell people what I do, the response is most often, wow, that seems so sad, that seems so hard. And they really don't understand just the incredible resiliency that we see, that I bear witness to in our patients and families and their siblings and their loved ones. And resiliency is all of the things, whether it's family support, internal coping style, hobbies, interests, friends, that come together to help us weather the storms.
There were more physical issues that really made it hard for her. She had constant migraines as a result of the damage that was done during her heart attacks. So she needed a lot of different kinds of support systems in terms of different doctors, different neurologists, and also, frankly, therapy to keep going. So it was very difficult as she was moving into her teenage years.
I hear from patients and families all the time that the stressors, the emotional burdens of their heart disease are some of their greatest challenges. And we've actually studied that through our transplant program, where we're really invested in understanding some of these psychosocial and emotional factors associated with long-term transplant outcomes, and found that a lot of our teenage patients are worried about retransplantation, are worried about rejection, and understandably so.
No matter what we were going through, we knew that the University of Michigan's Mott Children's Hospital was the best place in the world we could possibly be. And we knew that the science, the research that was going into her care was absolutely as modern as it could possibly be.
Of course, we want to offer, the best surgical outcomes. That we have to do. But we also want to help our families thrive and live these meaningful and full lives.
We just didn't know how long she would live. She might live 2 years, 5 years, or 100 years. We just didn't know. So it's almost like our lives moved from black and white into Technicolor. It seemed like we should live bigger lives. So we traveled and enjoyed that travel. The times we were together and enjoying life, we really enjoyed it because we recognized what a gift it was.
When I think about Julia, I think of an eloquent, well-spoken, educated young woman who was proud, was sophisticated. She could make you laugh. When she spoke, the room fell silent.
We didn't know what her future was going to be, but we knew we were getting amazing care at Michigan. Julia said that she wanted to give back, so she applied to the nursing school, and I think one of the real joys in her life was when she got accepted into the nursing school at the University of Michigan.
So I didn't have the pleasure of meeting Julia, but this is why we're here. This is what it's all about. It's families like the Streckers. It's kids like Julia. This is what it's all about. So I'd like to join, or have Dr. Sharpie and Dr. Oye join me now as we look again at all the incredible things we've done tonight, all the fundraising, all the generosity. And would just like to give everyone a sincere thanks for being here tonight.
Well, before we go too far, Jeff, I'd like to throw in the last minute. We had a couple families who have decided to donate. Stephen Fur family. The Furs are great friends of our program for many, many years. Thank you so much for a $1,000 donation. Karen Hajar and Joy Hajar also each gave $1,000. So I'd like to recognize those folks for their generous donations. It means so much to us in the Heart Center. As Jeff said, we couldn't do it without you. This is a team effort, and we welcome you so much to our team.
So I'd like to once again thank all our sponsors. I know Jeff read all of them, but thank you so much. Without your generous support, this couldn't happen tonight. And thank all of our donors, because every dollar you give really makes a big difference. They go directly to help our patients and families. And so now we're going to have a little toast.
But before we do that, I have one more special thanks, which is I'd like to thank everyone who supports our staff and our families, our faculty. Your support for everyone who works in the Heart Center is so greatly appreciated, and we don't thank you enough for all the sacrifices you make for all these extraordinary people who work in our program. So thank you, those who are tuning in tonight, because it really means a lot to us. So with that, now we'd like to have a toast.
Yes, invite our families in here also. Thank you. So I'm supposed to make this to all the participants, but I'll go off script as I often do at these events. And I'd like to make a toast actually to all of our patients and their families, because they're the ones that are really doing all the heavy lifting. So here's to you, and hopefully we're helping that journey and taking a little bit of that burden off with this event tonight. So cheers.
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 And with that, I will throw it back to Jeff, and Jeff's got a few closing comments. Also another video from Matt Hammett and Bowen, his son. And I would recommend strongly that you stay online and watch that video because, spoiler alert, I cry every time I see it. So Jeff, I'll throw it back to you.
Well, I'm already crying, so I don't know if that's that counts. But just a couple reminders. The silent auction closes at 9 p.m. If it's not 8 p.m., the live auction is still going on. Again, we had so many people join the call today. There's well over 350 people. And I think we have a total. I don't know, can you guys show the total we've raised so far? I don't know if we have that up on the screen.
Whoa.
Holy cow. Already over $8,000. Really incredible. Thank you all so much. Thank you to our sponsors. This was not possible without you, to our donors, to everyone in the Congenital Heart Center and everyone who supports the Congenital Heart Center. Again, thank you again for joining, taking this hour out of your lives. It means so much to us. And with that, I would like you to stick around for this incredible video with Bowen and Matt playing a song together. Thanks so much.
Good night.
I've got a very special guest with me. It's Bowen Hammett, my son.
Hi.
Bowen has been through 3 major open heart surgeries at U of M, and again, they've taken care of us every single time. We're so grateful. The awesome thing about Bowen is, besides being a superhero heart kid, he's also a singer and a songwriter, just like his dad. So proud of you, buddy. And we're going to sing one of his songs right now. It's a song called Heartstrong.
When you're afraid of what's in front of you, when you worry about what could happen to you, I want you to know I've been there too. I wear a scar on my heart like a superhero. When you walk through the dark, no, you're not alone. I want you to know we'll make it through. Heart strong, pressing on, standing brave, no matter what comes my way. No matter what comes along, I'm gonna live heart strong. I won't quit, I won't break. I have faith, no matter what comes my way. No matter what comes along, I'm gonna live heart strong. When you feel like you can't get over your doubt, I know you're down, but you're not out. Just singing with me now. Heart strong, pressing on, I stand brave, no matter what comes my way. No matter what comes along, I'm gonna live heart strong. I won't quit, I won't break. I have faith, no matter what comes my way. No matter what comes along, I'm gonna live heart strong. 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 Heart strong, pressing on. I stand brave, no matter what comes my way. No matter what comes along, I'm gonna live heart strong. I won't quit, I won't break. I have faith, no matter what comes my way. No matter what comes along, I'm gonna live heart strong.
Good job, buddy.
Thanks.
Live heart strong, everybody.